Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm building 8 stud wide cobbled roads, adding wall and fence pieces to the canals, but first, I've added up my spend on parts and sets from last week together with this week as it was a bit easier to do. And I've spent a fair bit, so my total is now £1,587.82. I just bought 900 of these dark grey nugget pieces that I'm putting on here, and they look fantastic for the cobbled roads. I'm offsetting each row, so 4 on 1, then 3, so that leaves a 1 stud wide gap, which I'll fill in later with 1x1 grey tiles. Anyways, my part count is now 28,179. And as you'll see by the end of the video, I'll have added 2 minifigures, 1 animal and 3 vehicles. That's this section of the road tiled now, and it does kind of warp or will bend the base plate a bit, partly because it's tiled onto black plates and then onto the base plate. It is annoying though, and it does look a bit pants, but eventually the weights of the modulars will push this down. Speaking of which, let's add these ones back. At the moment, I'm just keeping the modulars built on the original base plates and then placing them onto these larger grey base plates, but eventually I think I will put cardboard underneath and build along the edge of the road, so making a curb and drains, and it'll be about a brick high. So that's the kind of vision I'm going for, and it hopefully will use not so many parts. Also means it's much easier to transport when I'm doing shows to pick up the modulars, because they'll be stuck on the original base plates and I won't have to take the large ones apart and all that kind of stuff. So that said, it does look really good as it is. It lines up just fine with the edge of the base plate and it looks okay, so for now I quite like the look of it. Let's test out the road now with a vehicle. And wow, I love how this is. It's quite fun to drive along the side, and the van fits perfectly because of course it's 6 studs wide and so is the cobbled street. This is the van is from the Avengers Endgame set with Thanos. It's the Ant-Man bit of the movie, and I love this van design. To me it's meant to be like a Dodge or a GMC 70s or 80s van, and it's great. And I'm going to use this design actually to redo the Home Alone Wet Bandits van, as it was similar looking in the movie, and the set, the actual Lego set that came out with the Home Alone van, it doesn't even look like that van, so kind of cool to rebuild that and fit it in somewhere into the city. Right, now onto the canal side. Let's get rid of these sand green pieces, as I'm definitely not doing that design. I'm going to go for a grey ornate fence piece instead of the black, which will be separated by standard 1x2 grey bricks. And I think it's a lovely European feel, very common to see ironmongery like that all over Europe, and particularly in the Netherlands around the canals, it's just like that. Even where we live, it's like that. I've got loads of these fence pieces delivered, but not the blocks. So today I'm going to do what I can until the rest arrives, and I'll be tiling the top of those with the long grey tiles, and I think it looks quite nice. It is hard to come up with something original that no one else has done, and I watch a lot of other YouTubers and I'm trying to make sure I don't copy what they do or do something similar, but inevitably you're going to end up doing something similar to other people. I won't add lights or anything like that at the moment, like street lights. I'll just get it all done along the edge, and when I come to adding lights I'll just take apart whatever wee section needs doing at the time. I have a delivery on its way, so when it comes during the week, I'll get time to film and build the whole bit, and I'll finally finish the water. So I'm actually quite excited to get the canal and harbour basically complete, probably next week. Speaking of the harbour, this wee bit with the jetty still needs to be finished. I've added some minifigs here. They're some fisherman types from the Fish Shack set from a few years ago. I've also added some plant life around the boats and a life preserver. But now with my delivery I can fill in the gaps in the wall and I'll get that tiled. So it's taking shape. Those fence pieces are added now as well. And like I was saying, for next week I'll have all the water tiled, the walls done, and I might have started another jetty on the other side, which is going to be a dock for a seaplane. So the final thing, let's go over the parts I've bought and add that to my spreadsheet. I've tidied up the look of the spreadsheet, I've expanded it and made a bit more sense of it, so it'll be easier for me to add things and put different things in columns. So I've got things like, just built modular sets in one column, and then I'll have base plates and parts in another column, so it's just easier to keep track of. Doesn't make for exciting viewing though. But I personally think it's quite interesting to find out how much people spend on things, so if I can show that to other people and they can see just how much it costs and how many parts are used, I think that's interesting and it's a unique thing for my channel. So the main thing I've added this week is parts, really 900 of those grey nugget pieces. I didn't use all of them today, but I will be using them all. And I got 600 trans clear tiles, and we got loads of the grey fence pieces, and 20 of the black plates, the large black plates. The prices again are brilliant on AliExpress for this, and all of this is stuff that you're just not going to see or notice really, so it doesn't need to be expensive Lego branded parts. The walls of the canal are parts intensive, so lots more 1x1 grey plates were ordered and green ones. I also used 2 boat hulls, the diving yacht set and the green sailboat. They were bought a while ago, but I've looked up the prices and I remember actually paying full price for the green one. One of the boys got it in the Lego store, so that's all been added. I didn't use all the parts in that part count, but I've deducted a few off there. So anyways, we're at a total of £1,587 and 82 pence. And the brick count, I've added all those parts and sets, and this week we have 2 minifigures added to the jetty as well, so a total of 28,179. Next week is a big update. I have an extra day off work, so on the city I'm building loads of stuff. I already have my next order of tiles for the water and all that, so it'll be finished next week and we'll have more of a clean look down at the harbour area. Anyways, thanks so much for watching and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye!